A video has surfaced of Judge Kavanaugh from a speech he gave at the Columbus School of Law at Catholic University. It's dated March 30th, 2015, and it shows him saying this to the people in attendance.
We had a good saying that we've held firm to this day, as the dean was reminding me before the talk, which is what happens at Georgetown Prep stays at Georgetown Prep. That's been a good thing for all of us, I think.
All right, joining me now is Jennifer Mascott. She's a former law clerk to Judge Kavanaugh. She testified as a witness during Kavanaugh's confirmation hearings less than 2 weeks ago. She's known him and his family for 12 years. Jennifer, thank you for joining us. Your experience with Brett Kavanaugh stands in stark contrast to these allegations that you've heard.
Well, thank you so much for having me on. Yes, I clerked for Judge Kavanaugh his first year on the D.C. Circuit from 2006 to 2007. As you've mentioned, I've known him and his family for 12 years. And I have to tell you that every moment that I have interacted with him, known his family, worked closely side by side as a law clerk to the judge, has acted with absolute integrity and character. He's been selfless. He's been fair-minded. He's been transparent. That's the approach that he's brought to the cases that he decided. Every one the year that I worked with him, he's remained a mentor, a career-long friend, someone that I deeply respect and am honored to know. And throughout the confirmation process, has had many statements of support from people of all walks of life, all along the spectrum. You saw many of them testify the day that I did, that Friday, at the Senate hearings, and I, of course, strongly support Judge Kavanaugh, have learned a lot from him and respect him a great deal.
So statements of support and character references are definitely important at a time like this. How do you sort of hold that in your head at the same time as this woman, Dr. Blasey Ford, who has come forward with an allegation? How do you square those?
Well, this is obviously a really tough set of circumstances, and as many have said, everyone should be treated with respect and dignity and heard concerns. Of course, I can tell you only what I know firsthand, and who I know firsthand is Judge Kavanaugh, and I can tell you that in my experience with Judge Kavanaugh, knowing him and his family for 12 years, he's always acted with the utmost character and integrity. It sounds like the Senate has made a decision about what it wants to do to proceed to hear from everyone and to have hearings on Monday, and I know that Judge Kavanaugh looks forward to that opportunity as a chance to clear his name. He's flatly denied the allegations. They are flatly inconsistent with what I know of him, and speaking firsthand to that relationship for 12 years, I found him to be a tremendous public servant during that time. As
someone, though, who has clerked in the system and really has a real keen view and eye to what the the institutions of justice in this country have to do in order to uphold people's civil liberties and their legal rights. What do you think the best way is to deal with something like this? When an allegation comes in late in the process, we've embraced the idea that we need to listen to victims. We need to not denigrate their allegations, and at the same time be fair to those who are accused. How do you see this unfolding in the way that's most fair?
Well, as you've mentioned, the process so far in a lot of ways has been quite extensive. I mean, I think the total was maybe more than 30 hours of hearings that Judge Kavanaugh had before the Senate Judiciary Committee, and had one-on-one meetings with senators, had a closed-door meeting where there were opportunities to ask him questions, and he's answered those, been able to share during that time his background, his experience, his qualifications, his approach to the law. Unfortunately, as you mentioned, things and concerns have been raised now after all of that process, and it sounds like the Senate has decided that it believes the best way to move forward is a hearing on Monday. Judge Kavanaugh said he will be there, flatly denies the allegations, and wants to clear his name.
Jennifer Mascott, thank you for joining us. Jennifer Mascott was a former clerk to Brett Kavanaugh on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.